Hello everyone, welcome to another ODNT Spotlight. My name is Steve DeWinter, your host, and I'm here with another wonderful fantasy adventure author, LG Surgeson, and she is here while she has already produced 5 books in her Black River Chronicles series. She is really here to talk about and promote her upcoming new one, Rat-a-Tat, which is a temporary title for this. It might not be this title when it finally gets published, but that's the working title, just so it's not unnamed Black River Chronicle title book. So we have this, and we're going to talk to her about that because she has a very unique and interesting publishing method that she's using to get this book published and out there. So let's go ahead and switch on over. Hello, LG. Welcome to the show.
Hi.
And thank you very much for being on our show and letting us shine the spotlight on you and Rat-a-tat-tat. I think I stopped in time. So tell me a little bit about the Black River Chronicles series. What was your inspiration for writing the fantasy adventure?
You're not going to believe you might. What live action?
Oh, it's jumping and skipping a little.
Oh, sorry, I live in the middle of nowhere, so good. It's based on a. Oh, I've gone.
We've gone dark.
Sorry.
That's okay. Internet can get kind of sketchy. You're coming to us all the way from mid-Wales.
Yes.
So we're having to cross the Atlantic.
Yeah. Do you want me to keep talking?
Go ahead and keep talking. Let's see if we can get your picture back, too.
Okay. It's based on a role-play game I used to run. So similar to D&D or, things like that. Only live, where people actually dress up and run around. Okay. The world is based on the game I used to run. And I used to write all the plots and the adventures, and I suddenly realized that I was writing for role-play, and I was struggling to think of plots for my books.
Uh-huh.
And he thought, why don't I use the plots that I've been writing for years for roleplay in the books?
Very cool. So you did a live action roleplay, the LARPing.
Yeah.
It's called.
Yeah.
And let's see. Are you able to get your video back up?
I'll give it a go.
We'll give it a try. Almost. Well, we have a still picture of you.
Doesn't look like it's going to play.
It's not happy with it.
No. Leave it on that for a bit. If I leave it on the still for a bit, it might play in a minute.
That sounds fine. All right. So doing the LARPing then enabled you to create your own world. So rather than doing an existing fantasy world out there, like a lot of people LARP the Doctor Who, they LARP Middle Earth with Tolkien, and they LARP all sorts of different stuff. You created your own world.
I can't take credit for creating the world. It was created by the people who ran the game before me, who handed the game on to me and are completely fine with me using it in my books.
Oh, wow. Excellent. Well, that was a good bonus.
Yeah. I took it off their hands, and so I took it and then sort of made it mine with my team of game runners. And then I passed it on and I stopped, to somebody else. But it's my version of the world.
Excellent. And so what is this world? What is the world of Black River Chronicles?
It's mainly set around a city-state called Aberdeen, which is with the weird Welsh pronunciation. Okay, Aberdeen is a rebel city-state that has just recently won its freedom from a big royalist country, and it's also a port country. It's a port city, so it gets a lot of people through. It gets people from all over the continent come to Aberdeen to trade and to get on the ships. So it draws a lot of trouble.
Along with all that trade comes trouble.
Well, yeah, because everybody ends up in Aberdeen eventually, and then the people who live there kind of have to sort out all the problems that happen. The first 5 books that you're talking about are based around a guild of adventurers, a guild of merchant adventurers who are sort of stuck in the middle of everything.
Uh-huh.
They just wanted to make a quick buck and have some fun, and then they keep trying to have to save the world.
Unexpected heroes.
Yeah, they basically find themselves in the right place at the right time, or the wrong place at the wrong time, depending on how they see it. Having to do things that they're not being paid for, but if they don't do them, the world will end, or people will die, or whatever.
So there's some incentive there.
There is some incentive there. Some of them are happier about it than others.
So Aberthy, that's Welsh, and that has a meaning. What does Aberthy mean?
Means mouth of the Black River.
Ah, so that's your Black River Chronicles. Very nice.
The Black River runs through the center of the city.
Very cool. So I noticed you're writing these books in a different order than chronological order.
Yeah.
And so how have you been finding from readers, how are they taking that?
The majority of readers in the beginning, well, the first one I wrote was Freetown Bridge, which is actually book 3. But in the beginning, the main people who read it were people who played the game, some of whom are actually remember the Freetown Bridge as it happened as part of the game.
Ah, they're like, I remember this happening.
Some of them are in it.
Oh.
So that some of them are really, because anybody whose character I borrowed, I've had their permission, and most of them have been absolutely thrilled that they are in a book. So the ones that came first, the Freetown Bridge and Dawn of Darkness, were actually taken almost directly from things that had happened in the game, and then sort of made into narrative and fictionalized a bit more. And the ones that have come in between are ones that I have basically come up with. So things that were happening in between the big things that happened in the game.
Wow, so you have immortalized their heroic deeds for all time.
Yeah, and some of their unheroic ones as well.
That is so incredibly cool. So the book that you're doing right now, Rat-tat-tat, where did that name come from? Right now you say it's a working title as a hold on, but that's a tough one to remember. When do I stop talking? Rat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. It's a tough one to remember. So where did that name come from?
It's supposed to sound like somebody knocking at a door.
Oh, and that explains the cover. Let's switch on over to this here, since the door knocker. I should have noticed that.
Yeah, it's supposed to sound like somebody knocking at a door, but I now understand that rat-a-tat-tat is also used to sort of symbolize gunfire and to sort of as an echoic for gunfire. So.
Yeah, that was my first thought, was AK-47, but that doesn't fit fantasy adventure.
Yeah, I was going to say, I live my world where there are swords, not guns, so I didn't think about that.
But there it is, rat-tat-tat on the door. I like it with the door knocker. Okay, excellent cover. So that book right there, Rat-tat-tat, that one is, you all submitted it to a publisher who has a very unique method for selecting books that they publish.
Yeah.
So what is this book going through right now with that publisher?
It's currently sitting on a website with a description, hoping people will read the book description, so basically a blurb that would appear on the back of the book, and like it enough that they might want to read it, and then if they want to read it, they have to vote for it. And if I can convince 1,000 people they want to do that, then the publisher will start getting serious, basically. If I get 900 votes, they'll assess my full manuscript. If I get to 1,000, they'll offer me a contract.
Excellent. You're sitting about 233 right now, or more.
I'm currently on, I'm so much of a geek, am I? I'm on 200 and, last count, it was 263.
Oh, excellent. Even better than the last thing I saw. So you're at 263 out of 1,000. And what I have here, for those of you watching the YouTube, and I apologize for the frozen picture where something happened with the internet as we're coming over from mid-Wales all the way over here to the West Coast in California. And we lost video, but we still have audio. Oh, wait. Now that I said something, the internet fears me, maybe. I don't know. But, no, we're back to the still picture. That's okay. But what I have is, if you're watching this video embedded in another website, just click on the button down there that says watch on YouTube. And then in the description, I have the link at SOOP. Let me look them up here. Something or Other Publishing. So SOOP, I have the link to the website where you can then vote for LG's book and help her get that publishing contract. So she's over a quarter of the way there, past a quarter of the way there. So she definitely needs your help and your votes for that. So as you're watching this, just click on that link down in the description and vote for her book to say, hey, I like this idea. This sounds good. And what's nice is she already has 5 other books already published, so you can get into this world before this book even comes out, so that you can be ready to go, so that when Rat-a-tat, or whatever name it becomes when it's published, comes out, you are ready to go for it. So by all means, go down below, click on the link, and vote for LG's book, and all it's going to get for you is just an email when the book comes out to say, hey, the book is now published. You can purchase it now. You're not under any obligation to purchase anything, but you've expressed in your desire to get it when it comes out. And that will definitely help LG out big time. I also have down below, connecting with her, I have her website, her Facebook, her Twitter, and her Goodreads. You can connect with her on there and keep apprised of everything for that. So another thing that we have to keep in touch with you is your newsletter, Black River Extra.
Yeah.
And so tell us a little bit about your newsletter.
Well, currently it's not got very far because I've only got about 4 people who want to read it, and that didn't really inspire me to write it. When I finally get enough people who want to read it, it will be written by the characters in the story.
Oh, neat.
They're quite opinionated, so they'll let you know what's happening in Aberley and around the continent of Aberley, and what they think about it. But yes,
that is very interesting. So that sounds good. So go ahead, and on her website you can sign up for her newsletter, and then you'll start getting all sorts of neat things from the perspectives of characters within the stories. And having already put out 5 novels, you have a lot of characters and a lot of depth already to these people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent. So we may have already touched on some of this because it sounds like a lot of your stories were based on actual LARP activity that happened, but I'm not sure 100% of it was written. Some of it you're coming up with on your own, correct?
Yeah.
So do you bump into the ever infamous writer's block? And if so, how do you deal with it?
I've got a few tricks. Sometimes I just leave it, because sometimes if you've got writer's block, it just means you should just stop because you're tired. But if it goes on for a long time, right, I know I want to write something, but I just can't work out how. I find taking a shower is really good. Sometimes if I'm really stuck, I'll eat a whole bag of marshmallows and see what happens. That's pretty good for writing a battle scene. And then if I get really desperate, my final trick is to go out for a walk and not let myself come home until I know what I'm going to write next.
And so if the weather's particularly nasty, you come up with something real quick.
Oh yeah, if it's raining, you're home in a shot. It works like a treat.
That's excellent. All right, so we've pretty much covered all the questions that I've had for that. So again, she's here promoting her new novel that is out with a publisher right now and is waiting to get 1,000 votes at the publisher's website. Again, I have the link down below. So Rat-a-tat is the temporary name for it, and it's one of the Black River Chronicle novels. And she's already got 5 other novels out. I have the link for both Amazon UK and Amazon US down below in the description. So you can click on that and you can see the other books she has. And definitely check those out in anticipation of the pending publishing of the latest Black River Chronicle novel. So we've covered everything I had. Is there anything else you would like to let people who are watching or potential readers of your series know?
Let me just give you a quick idea of what Rat-a-tat-tat is about.
Yes.
It's quite simple. I say it's quite simple. It's not actually simple in practice. The idea is quite simple. There is a thief. There's obviously thieves and beggars and whatnot all over Aberdeen because it's a relatively medieval world. And there is a thief called Mulligan who thinks he's better than he is. He likes to think of himself as the best thief in the city. He's not, but he likes to think of himself like that. He has a plan to make a lot of money by posing as an Albion gentleman.
Oh.
Working his way into, well, there isn't really an upper class in Aberdeen. The only real aristocracy are people who have sort of come from other places or who have decided that they're important. But working himself into the social circle so he can make some money. And to do this, he figures that to give him credibility, he's going to need a daughter. So he goes out to recruit a street urchin and finds himself a gang of 4 street thieves, girls, one of whom ends up posing as his daughter, and the other 3 end up running the operation behind the scenes. And Rat-a-tat-tat is a story of basically from the start how they put together the operation, what they then do, how much money it then their success, and then obviously their ultimate downfall.
Oh no! So the ultimate con.
Yeah, and then it all falls to pieces, obviously, because that's what happens in stories.
So you've got an anti-hero as the main character for Rat-a-tat.
Yeah, I have most of my books, there are anti-heroes liberally scattered through. Yeah.
Right, because they're assassins and thieves, and they're in the guild.
Yeah, they're in the Adventurers Guild basically to make money. Some of them are good people. Some of them are just after the money. Some of them can't help themselves.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So that sounds like an excellent story.
Thank you.
And have you guys run a LARP on that one, or is this one wholly from your imagination?
That was pretty much entirely mine. Actually, yeah, no, that one is entirely mine.
Excellent. Excellent. So all your friends who play the LARP, they're going to be able to have a whole new experience to read.
Yeah, they're really quite looking forward to it, because it's got one repeating character in it. There's usually a character that crops up somewhere from somewhere else.
Excellent.
So yeah, they're quite looking forward to it, I think.
Wonderful. All right. So do you have anything else that you would like to add?
No. Quite easily. Yeah.
So we covered it. So by all means, everyone who's watching this and checking it out, click on the link down below for the vote for LG's book and help her get a publishing contract for this one. I like the story concept of it, and I always like the anti-hero, the down and out guy, and the guy that says, I'm going to improve my station in life, but I don't have to follow the laws to do it. So
yeah, it's the relationship with him and the girls, because he thinks he's playing them, and actually it's more like they're playing him.
Yes, when you're working with a bunch of people who like to break the law, it's hard to figure out who your friends are.
Yeah, they might be small girls, but they can also cause a lot of trouble.
And his mistake was getting a whole bunch of them together.
Yeah, he thought they were going to be easy to deal with, and actually they're not.
Well, that sounds like a very, very cool and interesting story.
Thank you.
Look forward to that one coming out. All right. So anything else you would like to add?
No, sorry, I'll shut up now.
Okay. And I apologize. I don't know what happened to your video feed. I'm glad that we were able to stay connected for the audio feed, and we have this nice, wonderful picture of you deep in thought on your next story idea after having consumed an entire bag of marshmallows.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not that still when I've consumed an entire bag of marshmallows, but yeah.
This is post-bag.
Yeah.
Deep in thought.
Internet down here, I literally live in the middle of nowhere, so we don't have a fantastic internet connection when it's raining.
Yeah, but at least we were able to stay connected, so that's fortunate.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
Yep, that was good. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll wrap up the interview, so just stay on the line for a second. We'll chat for a couple more minutes and everything. Thank you so very much for coming on the show, LG.
You're welcome.
All right, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so that was LG Surgeson, and she is the wonderful author of 5 books are already out in the Black River Chronicles series. And it was interesting how she put this whole thing together and utilized a world that already existed, but not in the fiction universe, but in live action role playing. So that was very cool how that was all put together. And then her unique publishing method that she's using for the publisher that she has selected. And so by all means, she definitely needs your vote. And so just click on the link down below that says vote for LG's book and help her get that publishing contract. And then she'll be able to get this out there, and it will have all the support and services that are provided by her publishers so that she puts out a very good quality product for you and adds to the Black River Chronicle universe that she has already expanded upon. So once again, that was LG Surgeson and her book Rat-a-tat, and that will possibly be renamed for that, but I see it now with the door knocker. And again, I'm Steve DeWinter, your host, and thank you very much for joining us for this spotlight interview where we shine the spotlight on LG Surgeson and her wonderful Black River Chronicles series. And go ahead and click subscribe for the ODNT channel here on YouTube. We have many other authors, artists, musicians, actors, everybody who come on my show. I've got them here. So thank you very much. Have yourself a great day. Bye.